Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk about the process I went through on becoming an exchange student, and I'm also going to be answering some of the questions that I've been receiving. I hope this video proves to be useful to you, and if you have any more questions, just leave a comment at the bottom and I will answer your questions. And if you want Japan specific questions, just comment at the bottom with your question and I will answer it for you. So before I start getting into the questions, I thought I would introduce myself. I went on exchange through Rotary Youth Exchange program from 2014 to 2015 to Japan. I had considered going with YFU, which is Youth for Understanding, but Rotary ultimately won me over. I personally think Rotary is probably one of the best, if not the best, program that you could go through as a high school student. They have a really great support system. I just liked the way that I had a counselor to always go with, and my host families were great, and they were just really helpful and nice people. Rotary is definitely the program that I would suggest people look into if you are interested in going on exchange. And if you want to hear more about Rotary, just leave a question, comment, and I will talk more about Rotary. I don't want to become biased in this video if some of you guys are going on exchange through other programs, but I'm completely Rotary. I love them so much, and I'm so thankful towards them. So let's get on to the actual questions. One of the most common questions that I had was, why did I choose Rotary? I know I just mentioned them a few seconds ago, but I really like the process that I had to go through in becoming an exchange student. I had to go through various interviews. I got to talk with some of the inbounds from other countries, and I felt really safe choosing them. I know some of the other programs you don't have counselors, and I was really worried about that because I wanted to make sure I would feel comfortable and have a point of contact while in my country, and Rotary proved to be that. And also, Rotary is one of the oldest and longest running exchange programs, and they're constantly trying to find ways to get better and to fix any issues that may arise. And so that's pretty much why I went with Rotary. What I just answered earlier kind of segues into the cost of exchange. I had to pay for my insurance and I had to pay for my flight tickets. But for the flight tickets, I went through a travel agency. My district in California, we all the exchange students get their tickets through one ticketing agency, and we also had to get the same insurance. And I do suggest that you guys save up money before going on exchange because you're going to see a lot of stuff over there that you might want, and you don't want to consistently stress about your money. So I suggest if you guys are old enough to have a part-time job, get a part-time job because that's what I did. And also, you guys should all fundraise because I fundraise a lot. Talk with your host Rotary Club because if you talk to them about it, it's likely that they will help you out with your costs, like mine did. And so just try to find ways to make as much money as you can before you leave. That's the best advice I can give you. Next question is a really fun question. What are your chances of going to the country that's your first choice? Through Rotary, they had asked me what are my top 3 countries, and I had said Japan is my first, is obviously my first choice, and then number 2 and number 3 were, I had picked Sweden and Finland. I wanted to go to a Nordic country. I wasn't into the whole Europe or South America lifestyle because I felt like it's too similar to America, and those places are more like vacations spots for me. I didn't want to live a year over there. It was my own choice, so I don't want to offend you guys if you guys really want to go to Europe or South America. This all depends on your district. Some of the Rotary clubs in the district might not have exchange with countries in Australia or Taiwan or Thailand. It all depends on the district you go through because luckily for me, my district had exchange to Japan, but it was only for girls. Boys weren't allowed to go to Japan for the year 2014, 2015, but the year before, boys were able to go to Japan. It just depends yearly if the two Rotary clubs want to maintain that relationship along with the district. But usually, Rotary always tries its best to um, send you to the country that you really want to go to. But if you don't get that country, they felt that you would match a different country better than the country that you originally want to go to. You will ultimately fall in love with the country. Doesn't matter where you go, you're spending a year abroad and you're going to be on the adventure of your lifetime. So enjoy it because it really is one of the best experiences that you can have. So don't get so caught up in picking what country you want to go to because you will enjoy it wherever you go. Okay, my next question was about language. If there's language requirements for certain countries, this is another question that is the type of question that all depends with your district. I know sometimes people who go to exchange to France, um, their district wants you to learn, this amount of French. But that's the only case I remember because I think one of our districts in California, I think we might have had a requirement like that. I'm not too familiar with it because my district was completely fine with you not having any language background in that country you want to go to. But I suggest that you look into the country requirements in your district because some of them might suggest that you have at least a year, at most 2 years. But you should all be aware of that some countries might have that language requirement. Okay, the next question that I had was pretty interesting, and it was, did you have to attend high school while you were in your host country? And yes, if you go through the Rotary Youth Exchange, you have to attend high school. I'm not sure with other exchange programs, but definitely through Rotary. YFU was also the same because when I applied for YFU, I wanted to go to South Korea, but I decided to wait until after I graduated. And I just and YFU, you would have to leave early February, and I didn't really like that. And plus, I really wanted to have time to study some of my language. But yeah, that was just like a little side backstory in case any of you guys are interested in why I didn't go with YFU after all. But yes, you will most likely definitely attend high school. And it's really fun because that's where you make all your friends. And come on, this is like your one chance to be a high school student in a completely different country. And guess what I even got to do in my host country? I got to graduate. So technically, I'm a graduate of my American school and of my Japanese school. So I have 2 diplomas, which is really, really awesome. And yeah, okay, Rotary trips. For Europe, I know that they have the Euro tour, and you have to pay for that yourself. Personally, I had trips in Japan, not to the level of the Euro tour, but my Rotary Club and district paid for all my trips in Japan. I had this huge school trip that lasted 4 or 5 days, and they had covered the cost of it all. I also went to a concert on a different island of Japan, and my host family and my Rotary Club covered that whole bill. And yes, this is again, I know you guys are probably tired of this, but it all depends on the district and what country you go to because my host club and my host district paid for all my trips, along with giving me my stipend. I'm not sure about Europe or South America. I'm sorry, but I know the Euro tour, you pay for your own stuff. Same with the Nordic countries, you pay for your other trips too. Maybe if you guys are planning to go to Europe or a country like that, you should talk with your Rotary Club because what I learned is if you just build up the relationship and you ask them, then it's likely that they might pay for it for you. Don't be nervous or shy or, get, worried that they'll dislike you for asking for something. Like I straight up most of the time just ask my host family, can we go to Universal Studios Japan? Can we go do this? Can we go do that? And talk to them, plan a trip, and I got to go where I wanted to go because I just asked. So please just ask. One of the final things that I was asked was advice. Any advice for potential exchange students or people who are actually considering going abroad? Well, I suggest that you research your home district and look at the country requirements and see if there's any language stuff that you need to go through. I also suggest that you start looking into jobs, into fundraising, because I fundraised. It was a year-long commitment for me before exchange, and also when you find out what country you get, start studying the language because it makes getting assimilated into your host country that much better and that much smoother. Be open to countries because you might not get your first choice, but please do look into other countries that interest you. Just be open-minded, be optimistic about exchange and this whole process because you meet a bunch of people along the way, and it's a great experience to go through. I know my district chairman always stressed that being an exchange student is a 3 year long process. It's when you're an outbound candidate, so the year before, when you're an inbound in your actual country, and then when you're a rotex or a rebound when you're back home. Every part of it is really, really fun. You will enjoy yourself at any stage of your exchange. I know December gets pretty rough. You're gonna go on an emotional roller coaster while you're abroad, but just be open, approach people, make friends. This is your chance to reinvent yourself. Like if you had like an issue, like if you were shy before here, like at home, try to be more outgoing. Just go out of it because nobody knows the type of person that you were before exchange. So it's, like I said, a chance to reinvent yourself and be that person you've always wanted to be. And I know this is supposed to be advice, so I'll try to summarize it because I've talked a lot and I hope you've all found it interesting at least. But ultimately, my advice and the thing I want to end this video on is no matter where you go, you will fall in love with your country. You will fall in love with the people, your friends, your families, your Rotary. But that will only happen if you are open minded and optimistic and accepting and willing to try new things and experience new things. So please be open and be just ready to tackle everything while you're over there. Just be happy because this is fun. You're gonna live by yourself for a year. And so, come on, you guys can do it. And I just get so excited thinking about it and seeing other exchange students getting ready to leave for exchange. But please make the most of it. You will love wherever you are going to go to. I hope you guys really enjoyed this little video and that I answered some of the questions that you had. Like I said at the beginning of this video, if there's any other questions that you have or more Japan specific questions, feel free to comment with the question down below and I will answer it as soon as I can. I will see you guys later. So please like, subscribe, comment, and see ya. Okay, to the right. Okay, watch out. I'm gonna have to adjust it.